So I'm outside. It's about 6 in the evening or something, roughly, maybe a bit later than that. Kind of look no different than I looked back then. But yeah, I'm pretty much recreating the past here. Now, I don't know, about 10 years ago, well, before then, I was about 16 or 17, and between 16 or 17 to about 23, so that definitely was that was 10 years ago, about roughly. I was coming out here about, well, actually 4 o'clock in like winter or like autumn and spring and stuff with the dog and dressing like this. So every time I pretty much took the dog out, I used to dress up like this. Look how clear my face is. I swear to God, I look absolutely no different facial wise as I did back then. And yeah, so back then I used to dress pretty much like this. I didn't have this hood. I don't think I had this back then. And I didn't have these paws. I'm trying to figure out a place to put the camera so you can see the lot, but pretty much I used to dress with this coat that I'm wearing now, which is like it's just a little jacket that goes in at the waist. It's kind of a thin jacket. I've got leggings and furry leg warmers on. I don't have a camera stand so you can't see, but I'm going to try and find a place where I can put it. Hopefully you'll be able to see here. Just put it down on the floor. Yes, this coat or jacket, it's just like a thin coat that goes in at the waist. And I had it when I was like really skinny at 8 stone. No, it won't brighten up. I didn't really used to wear this tail a lot though. I had a different wolf hood. It was very similar to this, but it was more fitted like that. And it was a darker grey. It was like my very first wolf hood. So it was just a crappy costume one rather than a more serious hood. And I didn't have the leg warmers until much later, so I used to wear these furry boots. And these paws I've only had for a couple of years, so I didn't have them. But this is like pretty much a recreation of the good old days, back when I used to love coming out every day dressing like my wolf self and just being a wolf. And the kids used to come pretty much every day after that to harass me, but the good old days was before that happened pretty much. So I used to howl pretty much on Halloween, and then maybe after Halloween, and I used to howl at the top of my lungs so everyone would hear, and it was supposed to be like a prank to see if people would, like, it would be kind of a mystery on people's hands where they didn't know who or what was howling. So, you know, I like the fact that people didn't know, but unfortunately I messed it up by going to the wall and howling. And I thought there was no one around, but it turned out one time there was a neighbour there and she was like looking right at me. But now I don't do that. Now I howl further in the garden and, you know, where no one can see me, and I howl a bit more quietly. But yeah, this is pretty much very similar to what I looked like back then. And my face, I pretty much look no different. So I'd say this was more upgraded version, very similar to the outfit I had when I was 17 plus. I was 17 when it started. It was my 17th Halloween when I decided to be a wolf. I was only being a wolf for Halloween, but it turned out it felt right. And it felt more spiritual and more like I just felt really connected to being a wolf. So that's when I decided that it's definitely my wolf first stereotype. And then later on I created a furry, you know, fursona, which is different to my therian wolf pretty much. My therian wolf is just a normal wolf. It started to piss it down with rain. And my fursona is pretty much a golden blonde falcon wolf with wings. And he's a furry, an anthropomorphic wolf. Whereas this is me just expressing my normal wolf, which is a Russian grey. A Russian grey wolf is my stereotype. And this is where I get into the more headspace of a wolf, where I just prowl around the garden, observing my territory, listening, smelling, looking around, howling, barking and making noises, yipping, or at least I used to. I haven't done it for a while. That's because all the bullies kind of fucked me up. So basically my mum told me that I should stop. You know, stop acting like a wolf so that it doesn't attract them anymore. So I pretty much listened, and it was just not worth it at the time, you know. I know a lot of people will judge me and say, because I've heard this all before, where people have said, like, along the lines of, I shouldn't be ashamed of who or what I am, and like did it in a criticizing way. Like they really thought I was a shit because I wanted to hide my therian side, my wolftherian side from my asshole neighbours and bullies. It's like, duh, everybody does. When furries go to furry meets, although they're publicly furry, as soon as they leave the meets, they take all the gear off. Because as soon as they leave that general area, there's no furries. So, you know, they know they're going to run into, like, judgmental, nasty people. And you guys know that the people around my area, not all of them, but there are quite a lot of them that are judgmental. Especially the teenagers and their parents, the hooligan ones. The hooligan parents and their hooligan kids are the nasties. So they're the ones, and the only ones I pretty much hide it from. From everyone else that, you know, may or may not. So if I'm in another area and I don't know people, I'll quite happily go around in my smaller tail and like hood or little ears. I wouldn't say it's a crime to do that though, to try and hide what would people consider my weird side. So whether you people like it or not, and I mean the people who judge me for trying to hide being a wolftherian or whatever, whether you like it or not, it is sometimes a bit safer to hide it to an extent. I don't hide it completely and all the time, but sometimes, depending on where I am, where I'm going, I will hide it. So in the presence of young people I will, but older people seem to like it and actually understand me better than young people. It's always been like that since I was a kid. Older people, adults, like 30s plus, usually like older people, seem to be more tolerant, accepting, and think it's pretty cool. And a lot of them have even been disappointed if they see me out and about without my animal gear on, like my ears. They'll say, oh, where's your ears? Why aren't you wearing your ears? And I'll say, well, I'm not wearing my ears around here because I get bullied and judged for it. So they don't understand. Like they literally don't understand why I get bullied for it, because they think it's dead cool. And even the kids, they used to think it was cool too, but then obviously they've gone back to their other mates, and their other mates have said, oh no, that's weird. And then they're like, oh shit, okay, well, to be accepted by you, then I've got to think it's weird as well, and harass Wolfy, which is what they call me around here. That's my nickname, Wolfy. Very imaginative, eh? I don't know, every therian ends up being called Wolfy, right? I like the name though, it's nice, I like it. It's just that for a while it did become like the source of sort of like, you know. So if I heard anybody calling me Wolfy, I thought, oh shit, it's the hooligans. You know, it's the nasty, horrible hooligans. And now, of course, I've started getting people on my channel saying that, you know, oh, why'd you do it then if you get bullied, you know? The obvious thing to do is to not do it then, to avoid getting bullied. So yeah, I can't win either way. So if I don't do it, I get therians saying, why are you hiding yourself? Why are you hiding your true self from people? They need to know who you really are, that you're a wolf therian. and then when I do that, It's like, why do you dress like that then if you don't want to get judged and you don't want to get bullied? So it's like, you can't, sorry, I don't want to swear. Don't want to get demonetized. Or, I'm not monetized on the channel, but yeah, it's like, you can't win, can you? So you get Nami saying, oh, you should not do it to avoid getting bullied or whatever, and harassed and judged. And then you get therian saying, you shouldn't hide your true self and you should go out dressed like this all the time, and even more weird and wonderful. Yeah, that is my dream. My dream is to pretty much just go out there with my elaborate animalistic gothic makeup, my elaborate gothic clothes and costumes, wolf and persona outfits, and just show my true self to the world. That is what I really truly want to do. And I do pretty much. I just kind of tone it down when I go out though, sometimes. Obviously if I'm going to an event, then I go pretty much overboard, and I get loads of compliments because I always go overboard before I leave the house, and I go out like that, and then people are like, oh, you look great, you know, where are you going just like that? And I'm like, you know, if I say, oh, I'm just like this for no reason, this is just how I dress, they think it's great, but you know, don't worry. I got a lot of compliments. I think people liked it better when I was dressing like Jeremiah, to be honest with you. That's my persona, who, for people who don't know, it's my persona, and it's my fursona. Reason why I say persona separate is because I think Jeremiah was a real person, or maybe is a real person. I don't know if he's still alive or whether he's dead and he lived before, but I think somehow he's like speaking through me, if you will. Like, so if he's dead, I've come back as Jeremiah. You know, like his soul is in me, I mean. Or he's still alive, but somehow part of him, like it could be his soul, has entered me and he's trying to talk through me or spy up some other way, trying to communicate with me in some way. Because, like, in real life, I guess I'm nothing like him, like, technically, but like looks wise or whatever. But yes, sorry, it's bumpy. I don't like to stay still most of the time, mainly because it's cold. It's windy and horrible. I forgot what I was saying. It's kind of hard to be like him when I barely look like him or come across like him. But yeah, anyway, so I think that should be all for now because it's getting to be a very long video. It's only supposed to be a short video anyway, just to show off my look. So I'm going to do a short one in a minute. Just of me like frolicking and being like a wolf, acting like a wolf. So I'll show you that in a minute. Don't forget to like, comment.